Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to look into this story where apparently Trump was asked whether he's going to deport Elon Musk to South Africa. And let's check out what he actually said.
What happened to Elon Musk? Nothing. He's upset. He's losing his mandate, and he's upset. He's very upset about things, but he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now. Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that.
Elon Musk? Are you gonna deport Elon Musk?
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out. No hydrogen cars. And when they blow up, it's serious. They find you 5 blocks away. It's that good.
Yo, I don't know what's up, but is it me or Trump is actually aging a lot? I don't know what they put in the food in the White House. How these guys come in and how they look like when they're actually working. Anyway, so Trump was being asked whether he can deport Elon Musk. Well, and he was skillful at avoiding that question. He stated he'll have to look into that. And, well, that statement isn't negative or positive. Some people think, yeah, this could actually be a possibility. We'll get into that on whether it's going to be possible or it's not going to be possible. Trump also suggested that Musk received so many subsidies or has basically been a beneficiary of a lot of federal subsidies for his companies, and Musk would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. This kind of rhetoric suggests that Musk's presence and business operations in the US are kind of contingent on government support. And it's almost like an indirect threat, like basically communicating with Elon Musk and mentioning South Africa when clearly he knows for sure Elon Musk is actually a Canadian citizen as well. So it's a bit contentious. I think there's two sides. There's a part whereby he could be making threats, and also there's a part whereby he's pretty much clip farming. If you get what I'm saying, like he's doing it for media and publicity. This guy has always been on a publicity role ever since, I think, he was a young little kid. I've looked at some of the interviews from way back, and you can see he wanted to be the topic of the day all throughout his life. Trump was also hinting that Musk could also lose a lot more than just the electrical vehicle mandate, indicating potential broader repercussions for his businesses. These threats coming from the president underlines a dramatic shift in what was considered once an awesome political alliance. I can remember Musk being so psyched during the Trump campaigns, but that pretty much went downhill, especially towards the last couple of months. And I think it's from what I've seen, it's tied to this one big beautiful bill. Trump retaliated by accusing Musk for being upset about the EV mandate removal, asserting that Musk's businesses rely heavily on federal subsidies, without which they will likely fail. Trump has also expressed disappointment in Musk, hinting that Musk might be suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. So this is just catfighting. This is just a situation where they're just going back and forth. Elon also responded, and this is what he responded on X, formerly Twitter. He was writing here, "It's so tempting to escalate this, but I will refrain for now." Two people that love publicity, like really love it. This is going to be a very interesting time. Can Trump actually deport Elon Musk? Well, you have to first of all understand Elon Musk's immigration status. And can his US citizenship actually be revoked? Because that's the first thing. That's the first step. His US citizenship has to be revoked. Then after that, probably a deportation order. Understanding Musk's immigration background is crucial in assessing the legality and feasibility of Trump's threats. Musk's background is basically, he was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1971. He holds a Canadian citizenship. He holds a Canadian citizenship by descent from his mother, who was born in Canada. He moved to Canada at the age of 17, then to the US in 1992 to study in the University of Pennsylvania. He subsequently became a naturalized US citizen in 2002. There has been a controversy over his workings or work status, and Washington Post snooped around and found some kind of dodgy stuff, and they reported in October 2024, that's last year, exactly the time when Musk was very, very active in the campaign trail, campaigning for Trump. And Washington Post says that Musk began his career in the US without proper work authorization, which Musk denied, stating that he was on a J-1 visa, a temporary student visa that transitioned to a H-1B visa, a temporary working visa as well, affirming his legal right to work in the US. So to become a naturalized citizen in the United States, an individual typically has to be above 18 years old and has resided in the US as a green card holder for 5 years or 3 if married to a US citizen. The Washington Post article, once Trump won, it blew over. So now, while the US law allows for revocation of naturalized citizens, e.g. someone like Musk, and the process is known as denaturalisation. This can occur under specific circumstances, including if the citizenship was obtained through fraud, misinterpretation, or illegal procurement of said documentation. In 2024, the Justice Department also included other cases whereby denaturalisation could actually occur, which include crimes such as terrorism, war crimes, human rights violations, and sex crimes. For example, a UK citizen was denaturalized in June 2024 for concealing a child sex abuse conviction before applying for their citizenship. So that pretty much means they committed a crime and they were not open about what crimes they actually had or the crimes that they actually committed. Then there's also the denaturalization also can occur when you're involved in the act of treason against the United States, or if the individual runs for public office or joins the military of a foreign country. Isn't there a lot of American citizens that are actually members of the Israeli Defense Forces? Maybe they have a different, set of rules. Anyway, that's not here or there. So right now we're focused more on Elon Musk and whether he's going to be deported or not. Experts are actually saying, despite Trump's threats, that the denaturalization of Elon Musk is rare and quite unlikely, and that denaturalization is actually limited to cases where the government can prove material fraud in their original application. So, in simple words, Trump's remarks are pretty much like just rhetoric, absolute rhetoric. I would say irresponsible, and also the part where, I'm here making a video about it. It's always publicity at the end of the day with these two characters. Then there's also the other part whereby the denaturalization proceedings is not handled by the immigration courts, because there's an immigration court. This is actually a federal case, and a federal court action is required. And this can involve multiple levels of appeals, including up to the Supreme Court, often taking years to resolve. Historically, the government has found these cases very difficult to win. So in simple words, it's not going to happen. So as much as it can happen, let's say the laws are changed or something happens and it's possible. So what kind of exit plan does someone like Elon Musk have? Or what is his move if he's faced with such a situation whereby he can be denaturalized from the US citizenship? So there's one whereby dude is actually a Canadian citizen. It's important to note that Elon Musk holds a Canadian citizenship by descent from his Canadian mother. And this dual citizenship provides him with potential exit plan if the US citizenship were to be revoked, allowing him to relocate and move his businesses in Canada or somewhere else where Canadians are allowed to be able to work. Here's another interesting situation. There was a parliamentary petition in Canada that called for his Canadian citizenship to be stripped due to his alliance with Donald Trump. You had Canadians who wanted to deport you. Now you have Trump that's also talking about deporting you. But Canada law dictates that citizenship can only be revoked if obtained through fraud, misrepresentation, or concealed information. Almost similar to the same case in America. Immigration lawyers also largely believe that this petition was unlikely to succeed, particularly as he acquired it by birthright. There's also the part where Musk has enough money to be able to battle and get some of the best lawyers available and contest such a move by the American government. And considering the part whereby denaturalization cases can be complex and can be protracted for a very long time and can end up being very difficult. And again, as we mentioned before, government has never won those cases, and it requires a federal court proceedings and multiple levels of appeal up to the Supreme Court, which again is expensive and also a little bit, how can I say, it's an overkill considering this guy actually does bring a lot of benefit. He's actually a major employer. Like, let him do his thing, and he pays a lot of taxes. You will lose money chasing after him. And on top of that, he could also threaten to relocate everything, considering most of his companies already have like subsidiaries in different other countries. So him moving to another place where he's getting much more favorable conditions and is not that hard. And also the other part is, he responded, and as you've seen, he responded and said, it's very tempting to escalate this, so tempting, but I will refrain for now. I think he knows what we know now, that is not possible. I don't know, maybe it feels a bit dangerous and would like to pursue this. But all I can say is I'm watching this space, and I'll make sure that if there's any kind of developments, I will let you know. And that's pretty much it. The government cannot deport Elon Musk. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.